Holy smokes, what a week. Really 2 weeks, but to cut it short, I hit a PR on Thursday on a hip clean at 125 kilos. And then Friday turned it around and hit a split jerk PR at 125 as well. Something that I've been trying to attain for just about a year, probably about 10 months. Um, so that's that. You'll see all the footage, and that's great, and I'm super happy about it and very thankful. I'm going to talk about something else though. Um, so I don't really talk about my professional life on here very much. I think I've mentioned a few times that I have to go teach at the hospital tonight or whatever. So I'm a nurse, and I've been a nurse for just about 7 years, so since 2019. Um, I got my master's last year in nursing education, and now I'm able to teach at actually the same school that I went to get my associates at. And I've worked there ever since I was a student, actually. I really love it. It's great. It's what I want to do. I don't know how deep you want to go or if you want to say that it's what I was made for, but I really have a good time and I find a lot of fulfillment in it. So that's really great. Um, so mainly when I teach students, it's at the hospital in conjunction with our school, which is called like a clinical rotation. And I try to be, clinicals are a very hard, any healthcare clinicals are a really tough place for a student to be in. It puts them in a very vulnerable spot. Um, Especially if they don't have experience or whatever the case might be, right? Um, so, when my students make progress, I don't want to say force them, but I force them to look back and be proud of themselves and be self aware of the progress they've made. It doesn't make a lot of sense for it to be, yes, I have to be the instructor and give feedback and ultimately pass or fail them, right? But if they don't feel the same, or at least a little bit feel the same, um, they're not going to get much out of that long term, right? So, long story short, this week at clinical, during our post conference, to end the night, I made all 8 of my students, one at a time, go around the table and tell everyone something that they were proud of themselves for. And this was mainly related to being a nursing student and the current position they were in, right? Um, and they all did it, and I was really happy, that they were able to think of something and, um, you know, be proud of themselves for something because it's not very often that we think of ourselves that way, and when we do, I feel like it can be misconstrued as having an ego or um, being full of yourself or whatever. But if you have humility with it, right, it's important to be proud of yourself for things that you should be proud of yourself for, right? The interesting thing from this night is that right before we were about to split up and go home, one of my students turned that same question back on me, and put me in the spot, and said, "And what are you proud of yourself for?" Um, and honestly, I don't know if I've been asked that before in my life. Um, Probably at some point, right? But it really kind of caught me off guard, and I had to think about it. Now, I answered in terms of being a nursing instructor. I told my students that I'm proud of myself for helping people get, to where they want to be. Most of the time that's with teaching clinical, it's helping them identify areas of growth, giving suggestions and feedback and directly guiding them, to the point of passing or whatever it might be, right? But mostly I'm proud of seeing those same students then out in the workforce at the hospital while I'm there with new students, um, acting as professional nurses, caring about the patients they care for, engaging in meaningful conversations um, with the patients that because that research shows that directly improves patient outcomes, and that really makes me happy. And makes me proud. Not that I'm trying to take credit for their success necessarily, but that I played a part in their journey more so than anything. But as I was driving home that night, I tried thinking of things like in my life that I've proud of myself for, because again, I haven't thought of that. I don't even know since when, probably ever, right? And that was interesting. It's kind of ironic because I make them all do it, and then I had a hard time doing it myself, right? So, but this week, these last 2 weeks, I'm extremely proud of myself for. If you've been watching since I've been putting videos up this year, I was supposed to do a weightlifting meet in March of this year, and prep went super well until I injured my wrist and had to back out. And then I was going to do a strength phase after that since I couldn't do anything overhead. So I was going to go really hard on the back squats. And then I injured my back and I had to basically take a month off. And this was really hard for me. I've said in previous videos, weightlifting is, I know I shouldn't say this, but as silly as it sounds, like, is a big part of my life. Obviously, I'm not a professional or an elite level competitor or whatever, but when I hit a really big lift, or even if I hit a moderate lift and it's really good form, it's a really good way for me to express myself and let some emotion out, whether I needed to or not, or necessarily not, right? And within the last 2 weeks, I hit a clean PR for 5 kilos plus at 130. I had some really nice snatch singles this week. Not anything crazy, but I'm getting more comfortable with the heavier weights. I did a hip snatch at 84 kilos or 185 pounds. I did a hip clean PR at 275 pounds or 125 again. And then today I hit a split jerk PR at 125 kilos, which is something that I, at the beginning at least, thought there was absolutely no way. I'm just like a guy who, might have 4 or 5 days a week to train. I always thought for the snatch, the 180, so the a black and a green plate, so 185 pounds or 84 kilos was like crazy, right? And right now I'm at the point, and that's my body weight right now, that I'm walking up to the bar for a snatch and confidently doing it for a single or even a double, right? I used to think the 2-plate clean and jerk here at 225 or 102 kilos was daunting, right? And I was stuck at that it took me a long time. I was stuck at 205 pounds for a long time. And then I did 225 one day, right? And whatever. A 3-plate back squat at one point was daunting. And I'm just really thankful for where I'm at right now. I'm able to walk up to a bar and get after it. Yes, I still have bad days, obviously. And yes, this is probably recency bias because things are going really well right now. But for everything that's going right now, whether it's my professional life or weightlifting, I'm proud of myself for that. So if you stayed till the end here, I think it'd be interesting to allow you, if you're watching, to drop a comment and say what you're proud of yourself for, because I'd be really interested to see that and talk to you about it. So thanks for all watching. Appreciate it.